Good morning, everyone. It's a chilly Saturday morning here in Oklahoma. Let's just see what the good old Weather Channel says the temperature is. It says it's 61 degrees, and for an early September weekend, that's pretty cool. We're not used to this, so. They say it's a false fall, but there's also other reports that would indicate that maybe it's not a false fall, but we're going into starting fall and winter. So regardless, we're here in the ambulance, the Amburoamer, and going to go over what we've done, and then I'm going to try to get some more done. I neglected last weekend, which was Labor Day weekend, to do any recording, but man, I've done a lot of work. So pull my phone back up so I can see what you're seeing, and then I can point stuff out. Moving forward, I got a couple of boxes here. This is, let me see, let me double check, make sure I tell you right. It doesn't matter really. One of them is a 15-foot USB-A to micro USB, and the other one is a 15-foot HDMI cable. These cables are going to run from that oxygen compartment area back over to the corner where all of my electrical is going to be, and that's going to be to run my touchscreen for my Victron Servo. Just this morning I placed an order for a bunch of materials, just little knick-knack stuff that, you know, $5, $10, $20 items that I need to do some of this electrical. So I've got some ABS plastic coming to cut the panel, like I discussed, to go in that oxygen compartment access hole to cover that, and put my touchscreen in, and a push button controller for everything. So I got that ABS plastic panel ordered for that I'll have to cut and make look pretty for over there. I also ordered some terminals to land everything, and I'm debating a couple of things on my my backup camera. I have a basically it's an FPV system for drones. I do a lot of drone stuff, guys, and so I have an FPV system for drones that I'm not using, and I'm contemplating making it a backup camera. What it consists of is a FlySky Black Mamba, which is the transmitter. It's a device yay big, and it would mount here in this area. You would take just a basic camera, analog camera of any sort, feed into it, and it would be a wireless transmitter feeding to a FlySky Black Pearl, which is a screen approximately yay big, again, that is designed for FPV drone stuff. So I have that. I'm not using it for drone stuff, and I'm thinking about building. So I have the Black Mamba, and I have the Black Pearl. This is the names that they've given, guys. It's a product. Again, I'm not sponsored by these people. It's just the product that I have and have used for drone stuff. So I'm going to convert it and make it a wireless backup camera. Be a kind of expensive one, but hey, I've got the parts. they're not being used for my drone stuff, so let's use them on the ambulance, or should I say Amburoamer, because this is far from an ambulance anymore. As you can tell, I've got the back walls insulated. I'm fixing to do some more work there. Really, guys, more than anything today, I'm talking to you trying to psych myself up, because I've got a lot of materials out here in the trailer, and I'm trying to get started, get my focus done, so that I can figure out where I'm going to go and which way I'm going to travel for today's amount of work. I got me a board to go up front to put up there to start mounting some of my electrical stuff to. That will probably go up today, as well as pulling the wire for, well, these wires will be pulled in today. I have the SO cord, the 14 gauge SO cord that's like this, that came out of the ambulance. I have a piece that I pulled out from somewhere. I'm going to fish it back around behind, so that I have it running from the corner over here where all my electrical is going to be to back here behind the action wall. I've pulled out a lot of the wiring stuff behind the action wall that runs down underneath, that was for the original inverter. Of course, the original inverter's gone, and I'm building out for, the multi-plus. So I'm going to try to shut the camera off and maybe put it over here in the corner where you can see me working, and maybe take a little bit of time-lapse, fast-forward type video, and I might even turn on some music, but you doing, everyone? We wrapped up a day here, and looks kind of clean up front here compared to how it's been looking, but if you look behind the camera, and I'll show you guys that in a minute, it doesn't look so clean. So been getting a lot done, and probably not what everybody thinks, but you know, it's taken some time. So if you look over my head, we got some stuff going on back here. We've got a aux beam solid state relay controller. This is just a terminal strip right here. We got 4 relays over there on the far end. Those relays are actuated by the chassis harness for the stop tail turns, which run down this conduit to the back. For whatever reason, they pull stop tail turn lights into the electric box on most ambulances. If you've been converting an ambulance, you've probably found that that's been the case on your ambulance as you've cut out some of this stuff, or you've cut something out in the electrical compartment that's generally here, and it's now you don't have stop tail turn lights or running lights for that matter. So we got everything somewhat wired up. Still haven't got everything checked, but as you can see, I got started up here. I probably was a little bit ahead of myself when I pulled the large power wire and ground wire that came up into this cabinet that I removed. Probably should have left them. That's okay, I can fish them back down. We'll be good to go. The solenoid you see in the corner up here, I'm going to connect it to the ignition switch so that the engine's got to be on to power up this aux beam panel, and that way we are not running the risk of killing house batteries, or excuse me, killing chassis batteries, because this is all chassis battery stuff. And we'll see how that goes. I have thought about adding a secondary solenoid, which I have several of these because there were several in this cabinet when I disassembled all of it, and I've thought about adding a second one over here and feeding this from the house batteries. That way I could use running lights as a kind of mood lighting outside, whatever you want to call it. If you look at some of the fifth wheels and stuff, they have lighting that you can turn a switch on and it lights up the running lights on the fifth wheels and stuff. So I've contemplated doing that. It's not a must, but it's a possibility in there. If you look kind of below me, it's kind of hard to see, but I've got the vinyl floor down. This is just kind of a linoleum vinyl floor. It's a gray, looks like wood plank, and I had to do some luan down over the metal corrugated aluminum. Put some luan down, kind of take any rough spots out. Then I put my mind just went out the door. So if you look, you can see where I have, you can see a little bit where the floor looks different. I've gotten the linoleum down, the vinyl linoleum. Looks like a gray wood plank, but it's down. I still got to do some trimming over here around in the door, well, step well, but it's down, it's laying solid. I'm fixing to cover it up with a tarp. You can see it right here, just a canvas painter's tarp from Harbor Freight. I'm going to cover it up so that I have less chance of damaging it too badly before we start actually enjoying it. if you look over here, you can see the Asdale. We got the street side and curbside behind the door and behind the action area, covered with the Asdale. I'll turn the camera around in a minute, let you guys see that. Looks pretty decent. There's some little dirty spots on it that I need to wipe off because touched it with dirty hands. It's that linen texture stuff that I've been talking about. Looks pretty decent. Got I'll let the camera see that in a minute too. Got the FRP on 2/3 of the ceiling. If you look back here, I don't have FRP back here. I'm still trying to wrap up some wire stuff up here before I put that last piece of FRP up. Today, obviously, hadn't been real soon ago because I'm dressed a little nicer, and Noni and I went to dinner with the oldest daughter and her husband, so I'm dressed a little nicer, and I come to talk about some of what we got done. But I'll turn the camera around just a second, and you can see where we've got some other stuff done. I got a lot done on the cabinet and the closet, and hopefully I can get enough light worked out. I got to work on some lighting in here. I've got a 4-foot LED shop light. It was mounted up here. It was mounted up here. Now it's just kind of floating around wherever I can stick it for the moment to get the best lighting for what I'm trying to do. Right now it's kind of shoved in a compartment right here over the action area and sticking out, and it provides some decent light for a decent video picture here. So but for now the lighting's not that grand, guys, so I apologize. I will turn the camera around at this time and let you guys see what I've done, and we'll talk about it a little bit. All right, you can see here we're looking at the street side rear corner. That ought to be pretty obvious. And we've got 1/2-inch plywood where we're starting to make our wall out. We got the cutout for our closet door. What I did was I cut this plywood at 54 inches, which is the width of the full-size mattress. And if we slide back just a little bit further here, you can see a couple of studs in the bottom of the screen standing up there. That's going to be the little jack wall that makes the front of the bed. I've got the studs there, got the base plate down, but I don't have screws long enough to anchor it properly, so I had to stop on that. I got to go get screws, and when we went to dinner I didn't get screws. So you can see the Asdale on the back wall behind, and I may take some Asdale scraps and do down below where you can still see the EPS foam board. Kind of cover that up a little bit more, although that's going to be covered up anyway and won't be seen because it's going to be behind the cabinet, closet, whatever, and the refrigerator. So, but we still want to make it look nice as possible. I'm going to get some slider to go on the plywood, and it'll take a 1/4 inch piece of I don't know if I'm going to use a smoked Lexan or if I'm just going to use an ABS plastic. Hadn't decided yet, but the slider will go on the bottom and the top, and the bottom's a little deeper than the top, the top's a little deeper than the bottom. You put it in the top and then slide it down and make that all work that way. Have some sliding doors there to cover the closet stuff. This area right here will be a little bit of a well that you can open that closet and there'll be a well down in there. Probably put some sort of small basket or something for dirty clothes in there, or something of that nature. But again, you can see we're starting to make that happen. I'm trying to go as light as possible, not using a whole lot of structural lumber, because we got a good sound structure in the outside shell, and the majority of this we don't need that heavy structural lumber in there. So there's some pieces of 2x in there that are allowing us to bolt. If you look right here on this seam, where this plywood here meets the compartment right there, there's a piece of 2x screwed to that aluminum that I can screw that plywood to. It probably don't show up real good in the video, but right there, the corner of that aluminum is going to have to be ground down a little more. Sticks out just a little bit more than I had anticipated, and anyway, we're going to make that work. So like I said, went to dinner with the kids, run out of time, so this didn't get finished. I like the way it's going. I like the way it's turning out. This is all going to get covered with Asdel, and this back wall will turn back here. This area, see if I can, right in there, between the door and the cabinet or closet, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to put a piece of Luan in there to make a good firm base. And then I found a really nice product that it's a peel and stick vinyl stuff that looks like wood slats, and it's designed to be sound absorbent. So I'm going to put a piece of that there. I'll put a piece of it over here as well on this side, because there's probably not going to be anything there. There will still be a cabinet overhead the doors, because I have to have something up there to make a wire chase for those lights. I'm also going to put a cabinet up here, and of course this 120 volt wiring will be inside that cabinet for running my CPAP, since I'm an old man. Let's get you turned back around. Let's see if we can get you a little look at the floor here. There you go, you can see the floor. Again, it's just vinyl, linoleum, nothing special. It is the free floating type, it's not the glue down type. So we kind of got you up to speed. Gonna throw some different stuff in this video. I've worked for like 3 weeks to get this video together, and every time I find something I don't like and I have to go back and redo. So you'll probably see me wearing several different shirts, several different pants, because it's going to be video over time. I don't wear the same shirt all the time. I do some, but I guess I probably ought to get me a shirt that says Car and Flight on it and just wear that for my videos and my work. But it's not that big a deal to me, so I'm documenting more for remembrance of how I done things and why I done things, and sharing it on YouTube just as an outlet for my family and friends to see what I'm working on. So for now, we'll say goodnight and turn the camera off and go inside and go to bed. It's somewhere around, let's see, it's 8 o'clock. So had a beautiful sunset a little bit ago when we was coming home from dinner. It was probably 20 minutes ago, maybe 30 minutes ago. So I snapped a picture of it, so I'll throw that in here just to share. Again, beautiful sunset tonight, and as you can see outside now, It's dark. You can hear the cicadas making their noise, and it's time for me to go in and pull video down to start editing some more. So thanks for joining me, and we'll see you on the next one.